Good afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Travis Meyer. Some great weather outside. I don't know if you've had a chance to be outside. I did a Facebook Live during the course of the early afternoon. I was outside with my ranch, and I had my little baby calves I was feeding. But it was just so nice. The humidity levels are low. And usually in June, the humidity levels are higher. We have a south breeze, and it's a little bit on the muggy side, but that breeze makes up for it, a few clouds. Today is just the opposite. And here's the first day of summer. It officially arrived at 5:07 this morning, and you go, it doesn't feel like summer. Everything's goofy. Have you noticed that? For the last month and a half, it's been summer. And then all of a sudden, when it's the summer, it doesn't feel like summer. It feels like spring. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of weird. Anyway, this storm system up to the north is responsible for it. You can see kind of a circulation pattern. Wait till you see some of the temperatures with that. Stephen Nairn's put some of that together for me. But there is some severe weather, and that's mainly in the Mississippi Valley Delta area. And then that extends from Memphis and then up to Paducah. So there are areas of strong and severe storms. We've had a few isolated cells forming southeast of Fort Smith. And we've had a few isolated sprinkles and showers with some of the clouds that are kind of sinking south of this big low pressure system. But so far, all is quiet. Now, it won't stay that way because we do have chances of storms. But right now, there's no storms. It is absolutely gorgeous. Just want you to take a look at this. Does that not look good? Now, you could think it's 110 or you could think it's 55. We're kind of in between that. We're at 54, though, with the humidity. And so it's just extremely comfortable. When you get a dew point down in the 50s, that is unbelievably comfortable. And if you've been outside, you know that. If you haven't had an opportunity to be outside, been stuck in the house, or if you're stuck even in a hospital or whatever, it is really nice outside for a change, because it has been just a blast furnace seemingly for a month and a half, and now it is just comfortable. Our actual temperature is 91, but look at the heat index. It's less than the actual temperature. Why? Because the dew point is 54. The air is very, very dry. Now, I'm not exceptionally happy just because of the fact I needed rain and didn't get any yesterday. Again, everything's burning up. It's weird to say that in June. Usually you say that in July and August and always hoping and praying for rain. It's too early. But anyway, 29% humidity, so it's dry, but there's that northwest breeze. And for 90, it's like, that's a really easy 90. This is a cool picture, we think, because this is a low pressure center right in here. And so it kind of pulls in a little bit drier air, so you have a little bit of sunshine. So you'll see 84 right here around St. Louis. The colors, again, are coded for temperatures, but it's much, much cooler right in the core, because it's like cool rain and drizzle and fog right in the core of that, and that's in portions from Kansas City and then extending into the central and northern portions of Missouri. So just to our north, it's like just almost chilly, wet and chilly. And so they've had tons of rain. Now, this system originated out a little bit further to the west. It came in from the coastal areas and from the Pacific, but really we didn't pick up much on it until we started seeing it in Colorado a couple of days ago, when it actually had some moisture to work with. So it's just been slowly meandering across the central plains, and then it's kind of bogged down right now, and it's just kind of sinking a little bit south and east. So that's keeping much of the Midwest very wet and very cool, with the exception where the sun pops out. And we're at 91. The really hot air has been suppressed further to the south into Texas, where it's not all that nice, where it's 98 degrees in Dallas right now. I don't care if it's dry heat. That's still doggone hot. So here's a look at that satellite picture. You can kind of see that circulation feature. And this is a very unusual thing to have happen this time of year. Alan Crone, all of our meteorologists write a discussion for us to continue and we look at during the course of the day and night. I send one out at night. Alan sends one in the morning. Stephen, Stacia, Lacey, everyone sends them out. But anyway, we were talking about how this pattern looks so different. It's so much more energetic than something that you'd have in March or April. And so that's why we see this, which isn't normally the case. Normally, if we were going to see something like this, it'd be a tropical system down in the Gulf, but not now. So because we have a little bit more spring-like weather going on, guess what? We have a chance of a few strong or isolated severe storms. They'll be coming up for tomorrow night. So if you do have plans out tomorrow, we're good, but tomorrow night, stormy, and especially late tomorrow night into early Saturday. So you do see that yellow, which indicates low chance. I mean, this isn't like a monster thing, but it does have a chance to create some very strong winds, and that could continue into early Saturday morning. Then it could regenerate someplace in the area. We think probably in the southern part of our viewing area during the course of late Saturday afternoon. So it could be a very active time period from Friday night into Saturday afternoon, especially from early morning Saturday through mid-morning Saturday, and then maybe again late Saturday. That makes sense. So it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. We're working on the forecast. We're going to have more of that coming up in just a little bit. One thing I do know is that we need some rain because a lot of us are getting bone dry. Now, we did have some of you guys that picked up like an inch of rain just to the east of Tulsa, so that helps a little bit. But once we start going past the yellow is just kind of dry. But once we get to the brown, we're doggone dry. And then you don't want to get any further than this, because this is when grass is starting to burn and you're not having anything grow and things are kind of getting into a status quo in terms of like it's just shutting down. Plants can't really keep going. And then the next levels, you don't want to go in any of those three, because that's just ugly. So we're kind of hanging in that zone where we're starting to get into where things are getting stagnant. Nothing wants to really take off. So we need rain really bad here, because this shouldn't happen this time of year. So what we're going to do though right now, it's dry, so we're going to enjoy it. The cup's half full, and so you might as well enjoy great weather. If you have a chance to go for a walk tonight, be out with kids, whatever, it's going to be gorgeous. Oh, another gorgeous night. Now, that strong storm potential, we're going to have a timeline coming up tonight. We're getting some new data in literally as I'm speaking right now. And don't worry, we have a lot of sunshine. We have a lot of heat. That'll all return, and we'll talk about the timelines for all that coming up. But I can promise you that's next week. We got other things to talk about. Have a great late afternoon. Have a great evening, and please join us tonight if you can at 5 and 6. See you then.